You're listening to Nordrasil Radio, where gamers rock. Don't forget to visit our YouTube page at www.youtube.com/NordRTV, as well as our Facebook and Twitter at facebook.com/NordrasilRadio and twitter.com/NordrasilRadio.
You're listening to GTM Something Everything, available only on Nordrasil Radio, airing every Sunday at 4 and being hosted by Crazed and Apollo.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Crazed here, doing our premiere show for GTM Something Everything. I am your host, and today, for some reason, I sound like a radio personality. I am joined today by my very good friend, Junkman, or Gage. I'm not calling him Junkman, I'm sorry, your name is stupid. And today we are a dynamic duo. Say hello, Gage.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. How have you been doing? I'm kind of tired. I have not slept since 4. But anywho. Okay, so...
It's 3 hours ago.
Shut up, whatever. Get over. I don't care. Okay, so guys, our show is basically, we do a ton of talking about gaming, what we played for the week, you know, a ton of new advances in gaming tech and such. So hopefully you guys enjoy it and stick around. Alright, so today we're going to start off with the first segment of the show. Gage, what have you played today, or in the last week?
Mostly just a little bit of Uncharted 2, actually. Just breaking out of the usual stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This segment is going to be so pathetically short because right now our secondary guy, like, usually we have a third guy with us, but oh, poor Drew has a headache. Oh, boy.
Yeah, I partied too hard last night.
Yeah. You know it's bad when every time he wants to hug you. It's just, ugh. I had to, like, throw him off a few times. But yeah, Uncharted 2. Nothing to even really say about that, to be honest. We already know everything about Uncharted 2.
Yep, all around amazing.
Well, seeing as how you never have anything interesting to bring to this segment,
shut up. Just continue. See what you got to say, Trey. What do you got?
Okay, well, I'll tell you what I have to say. I have actually played interesting games this week. Alrighty, so this week I played The Walking Dead, Mount and Blade, Napoleonic Warfare, whatever the hell it's called, I don't really remember, and some Witcher 2, because I got it for free, Gage. Did I mention that I got it for free? I expected a...
There's the I got it for free quote, number 1.
Yeah, I want to know how many times I can say I got it for free before you snap on me and say, I don't give a shit! But yeah.
I'm keeping a tally. I already have 1. 2.
What? Oh.
You said it twice.
Did I?
Yep.
Oh, well, by the way, I got it for free. Might as well go for 3.
Okay, there it was.
Okay, I just took a swig of grape drink there. It helps calm my nerves. Let's move on. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about The Walking Dead. Alright, so the thing about The Walking Dead is interesting. The Walking Dead is a telltale game, and it is based off the graphic novel, or I guess comic book, or whatever the hell you call it. I can't remember. Was it a book or just a graphic novel, Gage? Do you know?
I think graphic novel. Graphic novel is...
I'm pretty sure it was.
It's a more appropriate term.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a graphic novel because it has the cel-shaded style to kind of go with it. But anyways, it's based off the graphic novel by Robert Kirkman. And somebody's gonna yell at me and say I got the name wrong. I'm sorry, I don't know. And yeah, so it's basically, like I said, a telltale game, which basically means it's kind of like a point-and-click adventure, but interesting. I don't know how else to say it besides that. It kind of has its own little thing going on for it.
What's it about? Like, what do you do?
What do we do? Have you ever played like point-and-click?
Can't say I have. Sorry.
Well, have you ever seen The Adventures of Monkey Island by LucasArts?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot like that, but it's like if you mix it with some Heavy Rain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Actually, if I want to be incredibly accurate about it, it's like if you took the newest Jurassic Park game and made it not horrible.
Oh god.
I have nightmares about that game. It's like we don't talk about such games.
Yeah, no.
We've banned them from our memory. But yeah.
They're non-existent.
We don't talk about these things. We don't. Anywho, so yeah, it's an interesting game, and it's episodic based, which is kind of odd. Like, when you start off the game, you paid like $25 for it, or was it 28? I don't know. I got it on Steam, so you know what, their prices are all over the place. It's episodic based, which means when you buy the game, you get the first episode right off the bat, and then it releases 4 more episodes over like a period of time.
Oh, okay.
And it's interesting. I'm actually not sure how long the first episode goes because I haven't beaten it yet, but I'm fairly certain I'm near the end.
Fairly certain. Just watch the game, just throw a curveball at me. Oh
and
yeah,
have the first
it'll be a
episode go,
plot
like,
twist.
6
and you'll
hours
just
long.
Mind blown.
Yeah. That probably won't happen. But yeah, it's a good game though, because there are a lot of moments in there where you have like this really heart-wrenching, I guess, kind of dramatic moment. Like at the very beginning, about maybe 5 minutes into the very beginning, you're walking into, I don't want to spoil this, but it's about as quick as I can go. It's not going to be spoiling anything. You're walking into this person's house, and you don't know where anybody is, and then all of a sudden you have this voice message come over, and then it's 3 messages, and it's all from the parents of like it's the parents phoning their the sitter and the kid that they left at home, and it's I'm not kidding, it brought like manly tears of sadness to my eye, like a single masculine tear rolled down my eye, because the first one it's like, hi sitter, hi Clementine, we're just off in Savannah, where the hell we are, and then boom, and then it talks about how the husband got jumped by some weird guy on the street and he had to go to the hospital. And then you're like, oh, shit's starting to come together now. And then the second one pops up and it's like, oh my god, Clementine, shit just hit the fan. Just be careful, all the calls are getting dropped. And then the third one comes in and it just drops like a bombshell. And that's when you find out the parents are dead. It's like, we love you, Clementine, we love you, we love you, we love you. And then it just goes, and they play the perfect music for it. And there have been a lot of moments in that game where you're just like, holy shit just got real.
For all you who don't know, a single masculine tear means buckets for Trey.
Yes, it is true. Buckets.
Admit it, buddy.
It is true. It's sad when you think about it, but it's true. Hey, don't hate.
No,
I can't help it if they that brings me on to another point. People often refer to BioWare as being the masters of creating awesome characters, but I have to say Telltale did one hell of a job for Walking Dead, because I have not met a single character in this game that I didn't have like an emotional reaction to. Like every character you find, they hit the nail on the head perfectly for him. It's perfect. Like every single character. At one bit, yeah, I don't know how much I can say without spoiling it, so I don't want to say what happens, but let me just say every single character you meet in that game, you're going to have a strong emotional reaction to. At least that's been the case for me for every single episode.
Well, that sounds decent then. Then at least you know where their budget's going. Most of their budget's going into their character development, right? You just don't have some shitty-ass characters that'll just be like, whatever, he died, let's move on.
I think we should mention this just so people know what's going to happen after the break. After the break, we're going to be doing some brainstorming for Call of Duty Black Ops 2. People are going to be like, what? No, we don't talk about Black Ops or Call of Duty. Well, it's kind of a monolith. It's hard to avoid it. Yeah, as much as I don't want to talk about Call of Duty, we have to.
Once again, it always comes back to it.
It's true. But anyways, yeah, we'll be talking about that after the break. We have a ton of interesting ideas, and a lot of information came out about it that we're going to discuss. So hopefully you guys stick around with us until then. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about Mountain Blade. Johnny Boy Campbell. Oh, I'm just looking at the Skype chat, and King John and Darapogo want to become want to start a crazed fan club. Yes. Now I can have my own cult.
Like, not even 9 minutes into our first episode. This is great.
Yes. Hang on. Yeah, so let's talk about some Mount and Blade. I'm just telling them I would like a cult. Anywho. Okay, so let's talk about Mount and Blade, Napoleonic Pack.
Let's start a cult. I need you to go and find us 3 goats, and I need you to go and find...
You don't understand. You don't understand. I'm looking at the Skype chat right now, and it says King John is saying, "Hail to the leader." Dara is saying, "Hail leader," and everybody's saying they should get matching robes and get tattoos on their back.
Trey, what are we starting here? Oh man.
God damn it, Gage! Let me have a moment to elongate my ego, you dick.
Hail the Canadians.
Yes, hail the Canadians, eh? Oh, Gage, after this, let's go down to Timmy's and get a double-double, eh?
We don't talk like that. I don't know how many people have watched that video. We don't talk like that. Some do, most don't. No. But I do love it. I do love it. It's so funny.
I don't know. At that party last night, a lot of people were bringing out their inner Canadian accent. And apparently King John is going to tattoo his... Actually, no, I don't think I should say this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
Oh, God. I don't... Okay, good luck with that, King John. I don't know what this... You're out of the club, bro. Actually, I don't know. I don't even know what to say to that.
I'll have to come and look at this.
Alright. I'm just looking at the Skype chat. It's completely sidetracked me, so good job on that, guys.
Get into that Skype chat.
Oh, God. I have the attention span of, like, a rodent right now. Okay, so... Let's okay.
Witcher 2.
Jesus,
no, not
okay.
Witcher 2.
I have to turn off the Skype chat, or I'm never gonna get things done here.
You're never gonna be able to focus. It's just gonna be like...
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Alright, okay. Let's talk about Mount and Blade Napoleonic Pack. To anybody who doesn't know, we talked about this game earlier in our episode last week that never happened. I mean, wait, what are we talking about? We didn't have an episode last week. Gage, never mind. Let's move on. It's not like we failed recording it or anything. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not the recorder,
right.
so fingers pointing.
Yeah, go fuck yourself. What? Okay, so Mount and Blade Napoleonic Pack. Most of you should know about this game. It is a fairly old game, and it just released its DLC for Warband, which is called Napoleonic Pack. And I basically decided this would be the perfect time to buy Mount and Blade. And let me just start off by saying Mount and Blade is if you basically took Total War and took you out of your little safe RTS area and put you on the battlefield with the rest of your soldiers. It's pretty much that, but a lot more I can't say in-depth because I've never played a Total War game, but it is very interesting. So yeah. It's to the point where it's basically a sim. Like, you can have 200 on 200 battles, and for Napoleonic Pack specifically, it's all based in the Napoleonic Wars. Funny how that went. They have some very creative naming over at Paradox, but yeah.
It's usually how it goes.
Oh, sorry, I had to take another swig of my grape drink. It will steel me for the times ahead.
The official drink of GTMSomethingEverything podcast.
Grape drink, not endorsed by Crush.
Great. Now we're gonna get like sued for like. I get this in the mail. I'm getting a lawsuit in the mail for like not permitting to be advertising their product. Good one, Trey. That's your fault.
Why did I go back and look at the Skype chat? God damn.
Gonna end this
God,
call.
Verse 1, Chapter 1. And lo, the God said, go fuck yourself. And all of 2013 was filled with the babies of said fuck.
Oh, man.
Oh, God.
Okay, now,
So
am I not mistaken?
I love
or
our
is
co-workers
Mount,
so far.
is
Okay, go on.
this is the game that you bought off of Steam with your Visa, right? Or tried to?
Tried to buy off of Steam. By the way, Steam is shit.
It was the funniest thing ever, you guys. Is like this. He tried to buy this game off of Steam using a Visa credit card, and it wouldn't accept it. And he thought it was the Visa's fault, and he freaked out on it. And I just laughed and made fun of him. I just said that one less person does not go with Visa at all. It's just stupid Visa.
Basically, what happened is I was like, okay, I might as well get a $25 Visa, to save me some time and hassle, go run it through on Steam. Doesn't work. So I wake up the morning after and I'm like, I wonder if this Visa would work on Origin. So I go to Origin and I'm like, you know what, I have Battlefield 3 on here. I might as well get the Back to Karkin pack, I guess. It works. Mother.
Okay, so the brain is not shifted at Visa. It is now shifted to Steam. Steam's
Don't
fault.
worry, Steam fixed everything. The customer service is still better at Steam than the customer service at Steam is still a hell of a lot better than Origin, anyways. So I'll live.
At least somebody's doing their job over there.
Yeah, someone. So thank you to Tech Support Officer Trudy. Thank you. It would not have been possible without you. Thank you for your time. She's totally not listening to this, but anywho. So yeah. Whew, I haven't gotten any more notifications Skype chat. That's good. It piques my curiosity. Anyways, you were saying something about Mountain Blade. Go ahead.
No. I was saying you said you were playing Mountain Blade.
Oh, yeah.
Fail at speaking.
I actually can't talk very in depth about Mountain Blade just because for Warband, for the single player, I haven't done a lot in, and for multiplayer, I only played like maybe an hour or two in it with Drewism, who is also our co-host. Who poor Drew has a headache today. Oh boy. Man, I am irritated. I'm agitated by that. But yeah,
we had our heads
so,
in shame.
Yeah, it's basically it's an in-depth combat system. Could use a little work in some areas, but it has been polished in the War of the Roses game, which is coming out, and it's a good game, guys. It's 200. If you like the huge 200 on 200 battles, play that game. It's fun. Napoleonic Pack is absolutely fantastic. Nothing is more interesting than playing Siege mode, running with your entire team of 200 men as cannonballs rain down around you, musket fire rains through the air, and side by side, your men fall to the ground and die. And then you see them running towards the trenches, taking cover, getting up, firing, running again.
Trey, breathe.
Fire. What?
Breathe, Trey.
What?
It sounds like you're getting carried away there.
Yeah, anywho, and for every single shot that you fire, your musket will take twice as long to reload. And then finally, when you get to the castle, some engineer pulls out his TNT, blows the fucking thing up, and you run in, and that's how you win. But anywho... Yeah, it's the multiplayer in Napoleonic Pack is just absolutely fantastic, and I love it. But yeah, besides that, there's not much else I can say about it, because like I said, I haven't played enough of it to have like an in-depth view of it. If we had Drew here, and if he didn't have a freaking headache, we'd be able to talk more about it. But yeah. Yeah, it's good. Anywho, let's talk about the game I really want to talk about, which is called The Witcher 2 Enhanced Edition that I got for free, Gage. But anywho, yeah, that's the pleasures of being a game critique, I guess. Yeah. Anywho, let's talk The Witcher 2. I feel some gas coming up here. That's why I'm not talking. I'm just waiting for a belch. Anywho. Okay, there we go.
That was lovely.
Sorry, the grape juice did a number on me. Everybody, you realize all of our like coworkers are face palming right now and going, "He's not professional enough." God damn it, we threw professionalism out the window a month ago.
Oh
okay?
Yeah, no, that was gone. I was like, let's do a podcast, and then the second that Trey said that to me, professionalism went out the window. It was just gone. Us two together is not professional. It just doesn't work.
No. To be fair, none of us in our group are professional.
No.
We're like three monkeys in a cage banging our heads together, hoping something amusing comes out of it. Some amusing noise comes out. Yeah. Anywho, let's talk about The Witcher 2 real quick, just before the break comes up, because we have to switch to that in about 7 minutes-ish, around there. Okay. So, The Witcher 2 Enhanced Edition. You play the main character or protagonist known as Geralt of Rivia. You're a professional monster slayer who is neither a hero nor a good guy, but nonetheless you are him. You are framed for murdering King Foltest, even though you are his bodyguard and he trusted you with his life. When you find out the real murderer happened to be a Witcher, you are thrown into this giant journey of trying to track him down, and then on that journey you get thrown into a ton of other weird choices involving siding with terrorists or mass genocidal murderers and having to basically fight a war against a king. And at the very end, it all comes to a big, satisfying conclusion, and yeah. So, that's... Well, thank you. Hang on. I have an applause button here. I can do you one better. Oh, thank you. Oh boy. Oh god, this is 9 seconds of applause.
Okay, so when you say you're like a professional monster slayer, like what kind of monsters are we talking about here?
Okay.
Are we
So,
talking like
Geralt of-
huge, fucking monsters from like Resident Evil 5? Like,
Hang on. I'll tell you if you stop for a second here.
okay, well I'm listening.
Alright. Okay, so basically what you're a thing called a Witcher. And Witchers are essentially... If you know anything about Halo, it's kind of a little bit like that. A Witcher is essentially a boy that is taken, or I guess no, I don't think it can be a girl. Yeah, you're a male boy who is taken from his family, or maybe not from his family. I think you're just abandoned children who are just kidnapped and taken at the age of 6. And essentially to go through mutations, extreme training, and basically they try to take 10 boys out of each, and the training is so severe that only one will survive, and that one will become the Witcher.
Okay.
So yeah, you are essentially... You're so powerful that you can cut down, like... To give you a good example... You'll hear men talking in the game about your exploits as Geralt, and basically they'll say, yeah, I saw him on that castle killing everybody, his sword moves so fast, I didn't even see it. That's how good you are as a Witcher.
Oh,
It's
okay.
kind of, yeah. Oh god, more Skype notifications. Oh lord. Oh, right.
We're starting more
okay.
cults, Trey.
Gage, we'll get you a cult. Actually,
No, I
no,
don't.
fuck you. You can get my cult.
No. I'm not joining into that.
Join the cult. Oh,
I can't believe that guy said that. That was really funny.
Gage.
What?
Our indie dev. Okay, anywho.
What was that? Do you want to do that for...
We will talk about it.
Okay.
So after the break, we're also going to have an indie dev in who we're going to have an interview with.
Very exclusive.
Yes, very exclusive. In a few minutes. Why am I reading out everything I'm saying? The good thing is, he's saying he's listening to us now, and that I'm still a crazy bastard. I don't care about the fact that I'm a crazy bastard. I like the fact that it's working.
Yeah, no, as to compared to last week, where we get done our podcast and it's just like sit back and it's just like, that was good. All right, let's. Dan sends us a message. Yeah, that didn't work. An hour.
Well,
down the
yeah.
drain.
Pretty much, essentially.
It was
Alright,
good.
so let's
It was
quickly talk
funny.
about The Witcher 2. We're gonna fit in 15 minutes of an interview with Mark Wilson, and then we are going to basically... Mark Wilson, by the way, is our indie dev who we're going to talk about, and then we're going to talk about the Tacitus and Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and everything that seems to be going on with that. Anywho, let's finish talking about The Witcher 2 real quick. As I said, you're essentially medieval England setting, fantastic game. It does every single thing right that an RPG should do. It has a fantastic combat system, kind of in the style of Diablo, where it's hack and slashy, but you have to be far more strategic and have to think about it, because you can basically be killed in a few hits. While you are a fantastically strong Witcher and one of the best warriors to ever come through genetic mutation and strong training, that does not make you a superhuman. You can die. Like,
Oh yeah.
the game makes a good point of saying you are a strong guy and you are an awesome warrior, but you are just immortal like everybody else. And at one point, I was sneaking through a camp and I got alerted. I was dead in a second because they just shot me with an arrow and I was gone.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
well, that's how
you
most
are a-
games are. It's just like they'll put
Yeah.
your character is generally more like advanced than others, right? So it gives
Yeah.
you kind of like that powerful feeling, but to make it more realistic, you have to be able to die, you know? So
Yeah. I think the only game I know off the top of my head that didn't do that was the Superman game, which was also terrible. But you can't give God a health bar, so basically it was that the health bar was Metropolis. But anyway, so yeah, Witcher 2, fantastic game. Pick it up. The voice acting is phenomenal. The story is fantastic. Getting through the main single player will take you about maybe 80 to 90 hours. But here's the thing: you have to make a choice at the first act or chapter in the game that will decide which route you take, and one of those two routes will give you a completely different game experience. So basically, you have about 180 hours of gameplay right there. that thing will keep you entertained for a long goddamn time.
That's insane.
Combat is also phenomenal. I can't think of a single thing that I do not like about The Witcher 2, so I'm not even going to try. It's a fantastic game. Pick it up. Chances are, if you already own it on PC, you've already played it, you've already got the Enhanced Edition, because CD Projekt Red is a phenomenal company that gave the Enhanced Edition free to PC gamers. And you know what? If you have an Xbox, the Xbox runs it just fine. I've been playing it. Not at one point, like, this game is on par with maybe Battlefield 3, and not at one point did the frame rate stutter or the loading times take too long. The game runs smooth as silk. Pick it up, guys. It is a fantastic game.
GTMSomethingEverything. We are also commercials.
Oh, the Indie Dev can talk? Oh, jeez. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, we're also commercials. We sponsor CD Projekt Red.
There comes another lawsuit in the mail. So now what? We're getting
Yeah.
a lawsuit from Crush. We're getting a lawsuit from Witcher 2 producers. Great.
Yeah.
That's alright.
Oh, yeah. To anybody who's wondering why we're so unorganized today with the Indie Dev, I want you to understand just how difficult it is to try and organize a time and like set an appointment between two people who are on two different continents.
You've no idea. It's like beyond it. Like, it even happens to people who are on the same continent, just different areas. It's like, come on. It's like, Sam, be on at this time, and he's like, and we get on at our time that we scheduled, and Sam's like,
Yeah.
where were you guys? I've been on here for like an hour, and it's like, oh, okay, screwed up the
Yeah.
time change.
Yeah, and plus everybody has things to do. It's piss off.
True.
Anywho, alright, I'm talking to the Indie Dev. He may be able to join, so we don't know yet. We're very unorganized today, as I'm sure you can tell. We're pouring most of our brain power into Call of Duty Black Ops 2 because it sounds promising. It's been a long time since I said that any Call of Duty game sounded promising, but hopefully this one can change my mind. Alrighty, Indie Dev is ready apparently, so we're gonna go on break, guys. In the meantime, we are gonna play some music. Why do I once again sound like a radio personality? I do not know. Alright.
As we sign on and sign off is definitely the professionalism. That's all we got, guys.
Gage, you're drawing into our break here. I was about to play music and then Gage is still talking. God damn it, Gage! Okay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going off for our break. Please enjoy listening to This Is Hacks by Tim Prodigal Audio Blackwell. Tim Kaleon Blackwell. God damn, that name annoys the fuck out of me.
Desert Island Discs is not like any interview show. It's a very, very unique twist. Guests are told to imagine that they're on a desert island, and on it is a magical jukebox. It has an 8-song capacity. I asked my guests this, and an assortment of other questions like what games they would take, and who they'd take with them. Tune in on Saturday, 9 till 10 PM, GMT, exclusively on
Nordrasil Radio, where gamers rock.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back from the break, and we are joined by Mark DJ Spook Wilson. How are you doing today, good sir?
I'm fantastic, thanks, to be honest.
It's great to meet you.
Alrighty.
It's nice to meet you.
Alright, so for anybody who doesn't know, Mark is a indie dev who I met about a year ago, just off by chance through a few friends on Xbox, and you just randomly out of the blue said, oh, I'm developing a game. And at the time, I'm just going to go over what I knew about your game at the time. What the hell is that sound?
It's not me.
Oh, what the shit? Quit eating your chocolates and we must get to serious business. Jesus.
I'm not eating chocolate.
But yeah. I talked to you about a year ago about how the game was going, and you basically said it was in not medieval, but kind of Renaissance England kind of era?
Yes, 17th
Where
century
basically you
England.
are a vampire slayer.
Yeah.
You play George. And
Yeah,
there's kind of a
George.
story behind that
the hero.
name.
Yeah, basically because of English mythology and everything of St. George and the dragon. Basically, that's where the name came from. Our game uses the dragon as a vampire. You know? So
Yeah.
That game.
Yeah, but at the time you said basically it's kind of like if you mix Just Cause 2 with, I don't know, maybe Resident Evil or something, because you have the grappling hook and you're going around with, I guess, it was like a crossbow you said, and you have to shoot vampires and kind of like survive. It's a bit of a survival horror kind of game.
I think I remember I said it was Assassin's Creed mixed with a horror game.
So, Mark, are you bringing in like kind of like the classical elements, with vampires, the holy water, some of the the crosses, silver bullets, whatever it is, some of the classic vampire stuff?
Some of the traditional weapons to kill the vampires, but also we've been working on a few different weapons.
Okay.
That are probably not seen as often.
All right. So what I really wanted to say is, in about 1 or 2 minutes, can you describe basically exactly what your game is to the audience, just right now, like every single detail that you feel okay to give out about your game? Just describe what it is.
Oh, yeah, I could give it a go.
Okay, just name and anyway.
You're George. You're against plenty of diseased vampires, because there are different types of vampires in Outer Worlds. There's the traditional vampire, and there's like an infected vampire, which is nothing like a zombie. It's different kill animations every time you kill a vampire. Different animations will happen. Some burst into flames, others will burst into blood, and get the player character George close-blooded. There's plenty of weapons. There's plenty of story. There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot that's gone into it.
I'm kind of curious, actually. What is the... Like, you've mentioned, like, a lot about the vampires, and I think at one point you said, like, this is the time of, like, the bubonic... Is it bubonic or budonic plague?
Bubonic.
Bubonic plague.
Just call it Black Plague.
Just Black Plague. It had the vampirism had to do a lot with the Black Plague, you said, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
That's pretty cool.
Because of England at the time and Europe was rife with the Black Plague, we used it as a backstory. Well, an idea.
I think that's a good strategy. The way you can actually tie historical events into, some fiction like vampires and stuff. That's pretty. I think a lot of people like that a lot.
Yeah. You mentioned you were mentioning about Assassin's Creed. Funnily enough, that's a lot what Ubisoft does with Assassin's Creed as well. It's a very strictly tied in with history.
Yeah,
like, they kind of go crazy with their own like alternate stories there, but at the end of the day, it's grounded in historical facts.
Yeah. Well, I've got to be honest. Assassin's Creed 1 is one of my favourite games, and is a big influence in some of the elements of my game. So.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm pretty sure the only game that ever went to that time period besides Assassin's Creed was Prince of Persia. So it's interesting. You didn't really get a good look at like that time period before Assassin's Creed. So yeah, it's cool what they did. But what exactly is how much can you tell us about what the story's going around on? Like, you're George, you're killing vampires, and it has to do with the Black Plague. But is there like how much is going on there, like in terms of like plot?
Well, not meaning to sound too much of a cliche, but George started life, but is an orphan. He used to have a mum and dad. He has no idea where they are. That they come into the game, not, the story of where they came from and everything, all the stories tied into each other, George's past, everything. I can't really say too much to...
come on, Trey, don't let him spoil it.
No, you don't have to spoil it.
Mark, just because, I'm curious, and I know Trey's curious because this topic has come up to us before, and I hope you're okay with answering this kind of question, but, how much on average would it take to, like, actually make and produce an indie game?
Absolutely nothing. You could download packages like Game Maker for free, and then pay for like a license, which I think is about £17, or it could be less. I'm not too sure on the price. It's less, but there's a free version available, and you can make games to your heart's content with it.
Okay.
So,
well, that's pretty good then.
As long as you've got an idea, you've got a game.
That's actually interesting because I've heard the exact opposite, and it's that indie games tend to really hurt your budget. Like if an indie game doesn't take off or somebody's making it, that can pretty much nearly be the end of the guy.
Well, I mean, the way Mark's doing it, I think that's probably best because, I mean, if anything happens, that's all goes to profit, right? Because it's just not costing him anything to make it.
That's it.
Anything. Your game is being used
as well.
Okay, we have like a serious problem where we just keep fucking talking over each other. God damn.
It's just like last week when
It is. Marky, can I talk? I'm raising my hand.
Yep, carry on. Carry on.
Yeah, you, little boy in
okay.
the front. Trey, go.
Alright, so you mentioned at break. Yes, we do talk at the break. You have an insight into noticealradio.com. But anywho, you were mentioned to break this game is being ran on the Unreal Engine. So I assume this game is going to be like third person, like Assassin's Creed? That kind
Yep.
of...
Third person,
Very nice.
horror-themed action-adventure. So,
Do you know the name? Have you come up with a name for the game yet?
it's... The working title is Dampire, which is what... That's just the working title at the minute. If we can think of a better... you know, we'll use that.
Stone yet.
No.
Yeah. It's... Yeah, your game shows a lot of promise from what you told us. So, yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the time, there's not a lot we know about it. I'm kind of curious, though, as an indie dev, how... Have you had to, like, work with any, like, publishers, like, such as Steam or Origin to get your game out there? Like, how are you trying to get your game out there?
No, because Dampire is a big project that me and the guys that work on my team couldn't really finish, and money is a problem with that game, and so we're concentrating with applications like Game Maker to create other types of games, you know, to get recognised, get a bit of a reputation, and then when we start approaching publishers, because all of us are students as well, you know, we're still studying various parts of game design or development, so once that's done, we'll start looking at a publisher.
Okay.
You know?
I'm gonna quickly look at the chat here just to see if anybody wants to ask a question.
Yeah, that's a good idea. If any of you want to ask us a question or ask a question to Mark, we can ask him. Just leave a comment in our chat, and we can ask him for you.
Right now.
So, Mark, how long have you been working on this game so far, and like how much longer do you plan on working on it until it's finished?
At the minute, I've been designing it for about a year and a half. That's like all the paperwork and everything went into it, and I started making the city of Coventry, where I live, back in the 1600s, about a year ago, and it's pretty much a lot of work to do, but the block work's there, some of the textures are there.
Yeah, just kind of like the fundamentals are there.
Yeah, that's
okay.
it. So,
and when do you have kind of like if you can just spitball, like when do you think you'll be done and ready to be produced? Do you have an idea?
Well, as I said, money's a big thing with the game. I couldn't possibly finish it with me and my team because there's only 4 members of my team at the minute, which is why we're concentrating on like the casual game genre, you know, while I'm working various bets.
For an indie team, though, 4 people is not that bad. I mean, you could just be you.
Yeah, that's it.
That's true.
That's one thing that we should really notice, though, is that this is what a lot of people don't understand, is that indie, like, when you're on an indie team, like, one person doesn't have just one job. Usually, when you're on an indie team, everybody's, like, 2 or more jobs, right?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot to do.
That's it, and I'm the boss as well.
Yeah. So you have the job of ordering everyone around and all that. Anywho, is there? We're nearing the 15-minute mark here for the interview, and no, not your name.
No.
And so, is there anything else you want to add about your game that we haven't discussed about, or is your experience as an indie dev?
My experience as an indie dev, I've got to say, if anyone wants to do it, just live the dream. You know, they can do it. It's available to them. You know, do it. Yeah. That's all I can say. It's near enough 3 years where I've been studying computer game design, and the past 3 years have just been awesome. You know, you spend most of your day working on computer games and that, and I'm a bit of a nerd anyway, so it's all good. Yeah. It's all good.
Trust me, man. You're surrounded by nerds right now. We're talking about video games an hour every Sunday. So once I get out of here, I'm going into game design and art in university anyway. So yeah. live your passions, I guess, is kind of the
That's it.
whole thing to add to that.
You can do it.
That's pretty much what I said to anyone who asked me why I was doing a radio show on Nordistel Radio, and I was like, I like games. I might as well talk about them, hoping somebody
Exactly.
gets a kick out of them.
Why not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why the hell not? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking at the chat again. King John says, in all seriousness though, best gaming god ever. I shall give you Johnny Boy's first baby crazed. Also, all the ones after. I kind of want Johnny Boy's first baby. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I could live with. In all seriousness though, yeah, it's gonna come in air package.
Yeah, it's gonna.
I'm gonna go into my mail and I'll just hear a cuckoo caca coming out of the box. I'll be like, what the fuck? But yeah. Anywho, Mark, anything else you have to add before we boot you out?
Just look out for Lazy Elephant Games. I might as well get my advertising while I'm here. Nah.
Hey, we're gonna be advertising our YouTubes after this anyway, so yeah, that's right, lady. Lazy Elephant Games, that is a fantastic name, by the way. Look out for,
Nice
I guess, project name Dampire.
Yep.
It's been
keep an
awesome
eye out
talking
for it.
to you, Mark. Have a very good luck
been
with
great.
your game. It sounds promising.
Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Alrighty.
Take it easy.
Alright, you have a good one. Take care.
And you. Bye.
See ya, eh?
Dave?
See you later.
Gage, what's that on a boot?
Oh
Alrighty.
man, after we're done this, I gotta go take my pet polar bear for a walk. So
God, there are some angry neighbors on my lawn again. I better get the attack moose out and get them off.
the attack moose. That's right.
Yeah. Anywho, Mark, it's been fantastic. I'll talk to you later. Cheers. Goodbye.
Take it easy, guys. Bye.
Yep. Bye. All right. Now that he's gone, thank God. No, I'm kidding.
No, yeah, Mark is
Awesome.
great.
He's an awesome guy. I haven't talked to him ever since that period, so it's always interesting to see what's happening with his game. But
yeah,
anywho,
it's a good opportunity because
Oh.
how many get the opportunity to talk with an indie developer about the game, right? That's cool.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
really
Anywho,
cool.
I'm still looking at Skype chat, and King John is very upset that I did not give him my blessing, and he lost at League of Legends. But oh well. Anywho, we have to get to this quickly.
We got like what,
all right,
10
Call
minutes
of Duty
here?
Black Ops 2. Yeah, we have 10 minutes.
Okay.
We can fucking do this. I gotta stop swearing.
So, Tacitus.
Okay,
man,
let's just
I
start
don't
off
even know
real
where to
quick.
start. Trey, you go first.
I'll start it. Okay, so Black Ops 2, I'm sure you've all seen the trailer. It's blown up. You can't not see it. It's a monolith. We gotta talk about it. Call of Duty Black Ops 2, as I said, is one of the few games coming out, and is really the first Call of Duty coming out in a long time that I have felt interested about. Basically, what I'm interested in is not the multiplayer, but the single player. I've heard a lot of things about it that are very interesting, as well as Nazi zombies. Basically, I'm going to quickly talk about the single-player gauge, and then we'll roll you over to zombies, and we'll talk about what seems to be going on there, okay?
Yep. You agree.
Alrighty. So what appears to be happening with single-player is that the devs over at, or I guess the representatives at Treyarch, have essentially said that what they're going to be doing is they're taking single player in a whole new direction, and that the story of single player will change based on your performance. Who lives, who dies, what the outcome is, yada yada yada. You can basically understand there. It's kind of almost an RPG element when you think about it. And then what's even more interesting is that they've said that there will be points in the single player where you can essentially, it's almost like, it's an RTS kind of thing where you can take control of a group and then you go into first person mode, and then basically you can take control of this group of people, or not just a soldier in that group of people. You can be a soldier, you can be a tank, you can be a robot, whatever, and then it turns into sandbox mode where you have to find this strike team, kill the leader, and do a set of objectives. It's interesting because it's kind of like, I guess if I want to like really generalize it, GTA kind of style. So yeah, it's interesting what they're doing there, as well as the fact that it's sci-fi, and the fact that they're releasing so many weird little tidbits regarding Tacitus and a ton of other stuff in this sci-fi thing is very interesting. So Gage, why don't you talk about Tacitus and what they said there? Is it... it seems to be the weapon manufacturer?
Yes. Originally it was like, nobody knew exactly what it was, but it was kind of linked. It was secretly linked to the development and design of like the weapons of Black Ops 2, which kind of cool because nobody has really known the developers of the weapons before from any of the games or anything like that, right? And when you go to Tacitus' website, I can't remember exactly what it was, but there was like some lettering along the side on a page, and they thought that it was kind of like encoded. And if you actually looked at it, it wasn't supposed to be like Tacitus is not supposed to be directly linked to Treyarch at all. But when you look at these lettering on their website, you can see that this lettering is is basically Treyarch's emblem just flipped around different directions, kind of represent, and each symbol represents a letter. And originally they thought that these letters along the side, these inscripted letters, originally meant Tacitus. But when you line it up, the first and the fifth letter, like the two T's in Tacitus, are not the same. So we kind of re-looked at it, and we're thinking zombies, so we're thinking Tacitus is probably a little more closely related to zombies because Tacitus and zombies have the same amount of letters, and they line up perfectly with the inscripted letters, right? So Tacitus could be linked to zombies more, and we may think that single player is going to be really closely related to zombies as well, because we think that Tacitus is tied into single player too. Anyway,
It's interesting because it seems like they're actually adding more of a backstory to what in the hell is going on with zombies. Like before, you didn't really know what was going on. You realized it had something to do with Element 115 and the super weapons that were being created, and you kind of understood how it happened because of the teleporters, but you didn't understand who was really the mastermind behind it. And it kind of sounds like Tacitus, not only in zombies, is going to be like the weapon manufacturer who's basically like this evil mastermind behind it all. And I swear to God, and I just have to say this for the sake of my sanity, just so I can say it, Treyarch, please, for the love of God, do not make me have to fight a league of angry Russians again. I'm sick of Russians being the bad guys. I don't care. Like, make me fight belligerent Belgians or some really pissed off Spaniards. I will live with this.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of like just the classic bad guy, I guess. Sorry to all you Russians out there. But like the way, like the future, just the views dropped. But yeah, some of the new web, like futuristic, everybody knows this from just watching the trailer. It's based in the future, 2025. I think it's really cool. A really cool idea of having robots for warfare, and then what happens when somebody hacks into those robots and then basically turns our own robots against us, and all hell breaks loose. World War III. Blah blah blah. It's really unique, and I'm kind of excited to see how because in previous Treyarch games, the zombies was linked to single player in a way that it was kind of like a spin-off of the single player, where it was like, in World at War, it was just your plane crashed and you landed in this weird place, right? And it was just like zombies survive, right? It was just single level, right? And in Black Ops, it kind of had some kept characters and character development, and it stayed with the time period.
Yeah, I like what they tried to do with Black Ops, because they actually tried to add an interesting story to it.
Granted, like it had its own story.
Like, at the end of the day, the single player was still awful because it was 4 hours of follow the leader, but at the end of the day, they did try to have a cool story with it. Like, the numbers, you were always trying to figure out what is the relevance of those numbers, and then eventually you found out. It was like, oh shit, that's really awesome, actually.
Yeah, I didn't mind the actual storyline behind like the original Black Ops, because it was just like, it was kind of cool where it was like, the soldier kind of loses his mind or whatever. And Reznov,
I did not,
because that was really common back in the day, right? So it was kind of true. Anyway,
this is
I'm really excited.
This is like the first Call of Duty where it seems like they're not focusing so much on the single player, and is actually trying to focus more on the single player. And it's good, because Treyarch, as much as I've given them crap in the past, I do love the fact... Oh god, I belched there. I do love the fact that they actually put a lot more pride in their games than Infinity Ward does. Infinity Ward has had all creativity beaten out of them viciously with a sledgehammer.
You would refer to that joke. Yeah.
I would refer to that joke. Treyarch is always trying to bring something new to the table, and Infinity Ward is just recycling the same Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 every single year.
Yeah, I've said it again.
You know what, Treyarch, if you can make an awesome game with a single player that isn't a joke, multiplayer that is well balanced, and some awesome zombies like you managed to pull out consistently every year, I have not had a problem with zombies ever. Then you know what? More power to you. Like they're a fan. They're a good company.
Well, the way, like, they're totally the innovators between Activision and Infinity Ward, right? And I'm really excited for single player, the way you put it, how it's kind of like an RPG, you know, people can die, different things can happen, you know, the campaign can change, which is great, because, like, I hated how the normal campaigns, it was just like, it forces you to do this, and there's no other way, there's a set path, and it's just like you said, just holding your hand through the whole game, right? There's no way that you can do something different. It's just you have to do this time at this place. You know.
It's also been
it's cool because it's gonna be, you know, it's like an open world. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm very interested to see where they take this game. I love
it could
how
be
much
pretty good.
Treyarch, it'll either be fantastic or will fall flat on its face.
Well, either way, whatever happens, man.
Ever since Call of Duty 5, so.
Well, like, whatever happens, even if it does, like, go great, or if, like you said, if they just fall flat on their face, you gotta give them credit for trying, right? At least they're not making the same game 3 times, right?
Yeah, keep trying, guys. Infinity,
oh yeah, no. As long as they keep trying, if they keep making games that, like, aren't the best, but, like, if they keep trying, I'm gonna keep buying their games, because it's like they're trying and it's good, and it's.
I had said before I learned anything about Black Ops 2, I was dead set that I was not buying Black Ops 2. But now that I've heard a lot about it, my curiosity is piqued. I want to know more about it. Not to the point where I'm going to shell out $60 for them, but I want to know more about this game. It sounds interesting. It sounds like they're taking Call of Duty in a much more fresh direction and doing something a hell of a lot more. They're innovating. They're basically innovating for once. It's fantastic.
Exactly.
I love it.
The thing, yeah. See, I believe it that Treyarch is trying to make new things, right? But like before Modern Warfare 3 came out, that's what everybody else was saying. Is like, you know, Sledgehammer and whatever it was, like Raven Studios or whatever, were trying to bring in some new concepts to Modern Warfare 3, and I was like, maybe that could be pretty cool, right?
Not a single new
it's terrible.
They added new they added different options for kill streaks. What would he freaking do, Modern Warfare or Infinity Ward with Sledgehammer? You reuse the same game, charges $60 for it. Your game is a glorified map pack. Treyarch, keep on doing what you're doing. It sounds interesting. I'm interested in what the game is. Granted, I didn't like Black Ops 2. I only played the zombies, but this game, it sounds interesting for me. Anywho, I'm trying to talk so quick that you can't talk because we're running out of time here. So
I know, I got so much to say.
Well, oh well.
It's like, think back a couple of years ago, like before Black Ops come out, and it's like we were doing research to like find out like what this game was going to be about. You know, like we were watching reviews and all this kind of.
All right, Gage, do you want to shamelessly plug our YouTube channels before we leave?
I don't really have one. I don't have anything on my channel.
Okay, well, everybody go to www.youtube.com/user/crazed something. I repeat, my YouTube channel is Crazed Something. We're doing a Deus Ex playthrough, some Assassin's Creed playthrough with an awesome kind of commentary style. Plus,
you should just call that our channel.
Yeah, no. And we currently have an hour-long video of the Terra Beta in-depth look. Anywho, we're freaking out of time, so ladies and gentlemen, it has been Crazed as always. Joined today in my dynamic duo by Junkman or Gage. Still don't want to call you Junkman. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, it has been fantastic. We will see you next Sunday, hopefully if Dad doesn't fire us. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been fun. You are going for an outro song. You're going to be listening to Stung by Prodigal Audio. He is also my music man, so I'm shamelessly promoting him.
Alrighty,
the kids want dubstep. See you guys.
You stay classy, planet Earth.
Oh, okay.
You're listening to Notice Radio.